And the learning comes only when you people are a little bit stuck, so I'll keep on putting you somewhere in uncomfortable zone so that you keep on delivering some or other sort of a new things. I'm also planning to call some experts. Actually, so many people comes with their startup finance ideas, so they want to do the valuation of their business. So what I was planning, that if our own students can do the valuation of their businesses, then we may take a task from there only and say there are certain firms actually who wants these people who can value the business. So accordingly, the startup finance may be sought from the angel investors, from the venture capitalist, from the banks and financial institutions in terms of this loans and borrowings, from the government of India in terms of subsidy and the capital investments. So I was planning that our own students should do it. So let's see what happens. अगर हो गया तो फिर करेंगे हम. Okay, let me share the screen with you guys. And here we are. Okay. नाउ सर थियोरी बहुत हो चुका है. डिविडेंड करना चाहिए, नहीं करना चाहिए, कौन से फैक्टर अफेक्ट होते हैं, कौन से नहीं होते, कौन से टाइप के डिविडेंड होते हैं, अंडरस्टूड. नाउ how do we decide by using some mathematics whether we should pay the dividend or not? So there was one professor called James P. Walter. He came up with an idea to value the shares after taking into account the effect of dividend and without making the payment of dividend. So he established one mathematical model. Now again, for the valuation of the shares with dividend and without dividend, the base was taken and that base was time value of money. सर टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी तो हर जगह आ जाता है. आंखें खोलो तो टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी, आंखें बंद करो तो टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी. दैट्स व्हाट आई वाज टेलिंग दैट टू यू. किधर भी करो, कुछ भी करो, दैट विल कम इनटू अ पिक्चर फ्रॉम एनीवेयर. बहुत ही अटेंशन सीकिंग वाला बंदा है टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी. किधर भी आ जाता है, कौन से भी पिक्चर चल रहे हैं तो वो बीच में ही होते हैं. कुछ लोग होते हैं ना जो पता नहीं मेरे को क्या, कौन से भी पिक्चर क्लिक करते हो तो वो बीच में ही होते हैं. देयर वाज वन ऑफ माय फ्रेंड. So whenever we used to go outside to roam at the various places, he was always there in between of all of us. I was like, why you are always the center of attraction? How did that place always attract you? कभी तो तेरे को मन नहीं होता कि मैं थोड़ा सा साइड में खड़ा हो जाऊं? तो होते हैं कुछ लोग ऐसे. तो टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी है, वो सेंटर ऑफ अट्रैक्शन वाला बंदा है. इट विल ऑलवेज बी देयर इन द मिडल ऑफ ऑल द प्रोसीडिंग्स इन द फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट, Okay. So here we go. If you can recall a formula of present value of annuity, you can recall it. I was the installment amount, then there was 1 minus 1 divided by 1 plus r raised to n divided by r. This was the present value of annuity formula, right? I'm taking it very conceptually. I don't want that my students should ratify any formulas. Even in the CSCS classes, this kind of in-depth knowledge is not given, I know. But still, we'll not be making any sacrifice. Now try to understand, in the annuity, you have got a specific period of 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 25 years. But do you have any period for which the company will survive? Do you have any number of periods for which company will remain in existence? It's perpetual, right? Company exists perpetually until and unless we don't know the exact life of a company. We assume that it will remain there in a business for unforeseeable future. That means a perpetual life. Now what happens that if I assume a perpetual life, which is an infinite life, then n would be infinite. What is the meaning of infinite? 1 lakhs, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 15 crores, 1 billion, 15 billions? How much? 1 trillion? What is infinite? There is no definition of infinite, right? So what we'll do is say I in bracket 1 minus 1 divided by 1 plus r, you again know. Say r is just 10 percentage. I am just taking the example. R is 10 percentage. Now let me assume infinite to be 10 lakhs. So n will be 10 lakhs. Number of periods I am assuming 10 lakhs. So what will be there in the denominator, in that numerator? 1 divided by numerator will be something, no? 1 divided by 1.10 raised to 10 lakhs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see what answer Excel gives. So pressing equal to, the answer is error. Let me reduce 10 lakh to say just 10,000. Again the answer is error. Let me reduce just it to 100. Let me convert that into number. So you may check it, it is coming 0.00007. If I take that as 100 raised to 100. So you must have observed that more and more denominator you will have, near and near you will be to 0. So ultimately, if you increase it infinite number of times, then the discounting factor, this is called as the discounting factor, right? That will approach to 0. Yes or no? If the denominator is too much, infinite, then it will approach to 0, as simple as that. So, sir, equals to I in bracket 1 minus, this discounting factor is 0 now, and to be divided by R, right? That will become the formula of my present value of annuity. Now, annuity is perpetual in nature. For how many number of periods we receive this I, we don't know. Equals to I, again it will become 1 divided by R. 0 will be reduced, obviously it will become 1 only. So therefore I can also write it like I divided by R. So it is the formula of perpetuity. Now in case of shares, you have dividend instead of installment. So if you want to value a shares having the infinite life, perpetual life, instead of installment, what do you get in that? You get the dividend, right? What is the income for the shareholders in shares? It's the dividend. A percentage of profit they receive, the part of distributed profit they receive. So per share dividend will be taken at the place of I, and R will be K. K is the expected rate of return of shareholders, can also be called as the cost of equity. R is basically the rate of return you expect from your investment, right? What do the equity shareholder expect? That can be found by various models. We had seen those models in module number 2. It was called as the KE, cost of equity, expectations of equity shareholders, in other words. So sir, my formula becomes dividend divided by K if this is the perpetual life. But Walter doesn't stop over here. He said that, see, the right of shareholders is not just up to the dividend. Whatever the retained earnings also you gather, no? That is also a right of ultimately the shareholders. So he modified a formula a bit, and he came up with another formula, D plus E minus D multiplied by R divided by KE. E minus D is nothing but the retained earning, right? E is the EPS, D is the dividend per share. Let me write that too, so you don't get confused. This is EPS, earning per share. From earning per share, if you reduce the dividend, then it becomes the retained earning, the money you transfer to reserves and surplus. Then R stands for the return on investment which company does. Now I will tell you what is the logic behind it. And K stands for the equity shareholders' expectations, that is to be divided by, again, the K. So D divided by KE, that formula remains same. Only this part is added further. What is the reason behind it? Now, Mr. Walter argues that the company should pay the dividend only if company is unable to satisfy their requirements. And if company is earning better than the expectations of shareholders, then company should not pay the dividend. Now, it sounds very logical as well, right? Try to understand. I'm putting across these arguments again in front of you. Mr. Walter is saying that company, just a second, company should pay the dividend if they are unable to satisfy the expectations of shareholders. What is the expectations of shareholders? KE. So that means if R is lesser than KE, then you should pay the full dividend. R is basically the rate of return which company gets on its investments, can also be called as the IRR, internal rate of return from its investments. Obviously, if the company will be transferring some amount of money in their reserves and surplus, they are not going to keep it idle, right? They will earn something out of it. So that may be IRR from their investments. That may be any rate of return which is given to us. Company earns the return at this rate. And company should not pay. Company should not pay the dividend if R is more than KE. That also sounds very logical, no? Say if you are the shareholder, then if company is earning 15% and your expectation is just a 13%, what you will tell to company? You will tell to company, see, my expectation is just 13%, which I have kept by taking into account some alternatives, by doing some risk analysis, by looking at the other opportunities too. But you are able to earn 15% on it. You keep this money, no? Ultimately, what will happen? Your reserves and surplus will be increased, and because of that, my market price will increase. Sounds very logical. But if you are unable to satisfy my expected rate of return, then you should pay me the dividend. Give me the dividend. I will invest it somewhere because I have set these expectations by looking at the alternatives. If not you, then some other company will give me such kind of returns. I will invest it somewhere. So in that case, you should pay me the dividend. So this is the entire conceptual argument and framework behind this model. अब जिनको ये नहीं समझा उनके लिए तो रट्टा ही है बेटा. हमारे लिए क्या है फॉर्मूला? द प्राइस ऑफ शेयर equals to, we are valuing the share right now. Price of share equals to D plus E minus D into R divided by K. Remember that in the back of your mind, the whole is divided by the K again. The whole is divided by the K again. This should be the value of share. Instead of price, I should use the word value, but sometimes both of these words are used interchangeably. But it is the value as per Mr. Walter. Now, obviously, the actual market price will differ from its value. So, being a rational investor, you will at least be able to know that whether you should invest in a share or not. If that stock will be overvalued, then accordingly you will take your investment decision. And if that stock will be undervalued, accordingly you can take your decisions. Say, as per Mr. Walter, the value of share will be 120. And the actual market price is right now 70. That means the actual market price is lesser than what it deserves. And if it is lesser than what it deserves, that means it is undervalued. And as an investor, your focus is to identify the undervalued people, undervalued stocks. As an employer too, you identify the employees which are undervalued. You will have to pay them less. You will have to pay 70, but against which they give you the benefit of 120. That is nothing but the discounted value of shares, taking into account some retained earnings too. So let's go to the acceptance and rejection criteria of Volter. That should be very easy for you to understand. Let's go to the formula. The formula I have discussed with all of you. D stands for the dividend per share. Let me create a slideshow. Plus E minus D, which is the retained earning. You multiply that with R. R stands for the internal rate of return or return on investment, whatever the case it may be. Divided by K, and remember that in the back of your mind. The whole is divided by the K again. Now that should be the market price as per Mr. Volter. I am using the word should be. Actual will obviously be the different, because actually the shares are traded and valued and priced based on demand and supply forces. But at least you will come to know whether the shares are overvalued or undervalued. Now you can come to know that all those finance experts uses the terminology that this stock is undervalued, this stock is overvalued. This is how they find the value. This is one model. There are several other models as well to find the value of shares. And accordingly, they take the decisions that which one are very, very overvalued and which one are undervalued. It is a possibility that one share may be undervalued even at 1,000 rupees and one share will be overvalued at even 10 rupee. So you will not invest in 10 rupee share, but you will invest in 1,000, because value does not have any relation with the denomination. A 10,000 rupees car will be very, very cheap car, but a 5,000 rupees watch will be very, very expensive watch. Yes or no? So affordability and value, these two are different things. 10,000 it might not be affordable for you. 5,000 is affordable to you. So 10 rupee is affordable to you. 1,000 is not affordable to you. That's a different matter. But 1,000 is undervalued. I should invest it because their valuation may be somewhere around 1,200. And 10 rupee may be overvalued because their valuation may be somewhere around 9 rupee or 8 rupee. So valuation does not have any relationship with denomination. Please put this in the back of your mind. Now, how do you make the judgment related to dividend based on Volter's model? Let's come over here. If R is more than K, what does it mean? That means company is earning more than the expectations of equity shareholders. Yes or no? If company is earning more than the expectations of equity shareholder should say that we do not want any dividend. It's okay, भैया. तुम अपने पास रखो. Then the dividend payout ratio should be how much? 0. We do not want any dividend. If R is lesser than K, that means company is unable to satisfy the expectations of shareholders. And if someone is unable to satisfy the expectations of the shareholders, then you should distribute the entire dividend. 100% dividend, bhaiya. 100% माने के your entire EPS should be distributed as dividend. I hope you are getting my point. This is how the evaluation and the interpretation of Volter's model should be done. This is how you make the judgment based on Volter's model. Now, what will happen if you do this? If you will do this, no, then it will give you the highest value as per the Volter's model. We have seen one equation like this to find the value of share, market price of a share. Now, at what occasion the market price will be maximum? I mean, the valuation will be maximum when you will follow the footprints, when you will follow the instructions of the Volter's model. So Volter's model tell you that if R is more than K, then the dividend payout ratio should be 0. That means entire EPS should be transferred to reserves and surplus. Not even a penny should be given as a dividend to maximize your value. And if R is lesser than KE, that means company is unable to satisfy the expectations of shareholders, then 100% dividend should be paid. That is what applicable in the relationships too, you know. If you are unable to satisfy the expectations of any person, let them go. Give them your everything. तुम अलग हो उतना ही अच्छा है. Expectations हम satisfy नहीं कर पा रहे हैं आपकी. Anyway, some people will be like, अब तो philosophy में घुस गए सर. चलो मेरे को उसमें नहीं जाना है. So may I have the confirmation that you have got the explanation of Walter's model? The exact clarity will be there once we'll solve the questions of it. Confirmation through the chat box, please. Received it from Urja. Anyone else? From Mr. Dhaval to Mr. Vishal too. Very nice. Mr. Hardik as well. Very nice. Okay. Let's go to questions straight away. The following information pertains to Messrs. XY Limited taken from the CA modules. Earnings of the company, let me give the due credit. So if anyone is watching this online and if there will be any sort of violation of patent and trademark on me, copyrights on me, then I'm again restating that it is taken from CA module. I'm giving the due credit well in advance. Disclaimer. Earnings of the company, 5 lakhs. Dividend payout ratio, 60%. Number of shares outstanding, 1 lakh. Equity capitalization rate can also be called as the KE, expectations of equity shareholders. हरी तारा नाम 6000. तुम चीको बोलो, विराट कोहली बोलो, माही बोलो, धोनी बोलो, सब कुछ एक ही है, right? So equity capitalization is KE. Rate of return on investment is the company earns on its investments, 15%. What would be a market price as per the Walters model? So let's find a market price as per the given situations. Let's write the formula. Market price as per Walter will be, should be D plus E minus D into R divided by K. Remember that in the back of your mind. The whole is divided by the KE again. D stands for the dividend per share. E stands for the earning per share. Sir, do we have any information for this? Yes. So let's prepare a working note number 1. Earnings of company. Is how much? So that is 5 lakhs. Now entire earning is belonging to equity shareholders because no information related to preference shareholders is given, right? Because the first right to get the dividend is of preference shareholders. No information is given, that means there will be no preference shares. So now it is entirely available to equity. If you divide that by number of shares, equity shares, then you get the EPS. How many shares are there? 1 lakh number of outstanding shares. So divide this by 1 lakh. So sir, my EPS will be 5 rupees. From that, the given dividend payout ratio is how much? 60%. That means 60% of the EPS will be paid as dividend. So dividend per share shall be 5 multiplied by 60%. So that will be 3 rupees per share. Then do we require anything else in the formula? No, rest everything is there. D plus E, D stands for the dividend per share, 3, plus E stands for EPS, 5, minus 3 multiplied by R divided by K. R is 0.5. 0.12. We will be writing that in a decimal to avoid the confusion. And no sir, R 1.2 नहीं है, R तो 0.15 है, सॉरी. चलो इरेज करो चलो. 0.15 is the R and 0.12 is K. Remember that in the back of your mind. The whole is divided by the 0.12 again equals to 3 plus 2 multiplied by. Let's first solve this. 0.15 divided by 0.12. What do we get? Can someone tell me, please?
1.25.
1.25 divided by 0.12. So equals to 3 plus 1.25 multiplied by 2. What do we get? 2.5. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Divided by 0.12. So equals to 5.5 divided by 0.12. What do we get as a value of shares? Now it is basically the infinite discounting of 5.5. If you keep on receiving 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5 for infinite number of periods at the expected rate of return of 12%, then what is the present value of this? What is the present value of this? So it's the present value of 5.5 received infinite times. Okay. Can someone tell me, please, what do we get?
45.83.
35 point?
45.
Achha,
45.83.
45.83. Very nice. So, sir, this 45.83 is the market value as per Volter. That means as per Volter, this should be a value. Now you will tell me. I am asking a very simple questions to all of you. If the same share is available at 35 rupees, will you invest, yes or no? You may put your opinion. If the same share is right now trading at 35 rupees in the market, will you invest in the share or not? Let me see how many. Mr. Vishal is saying yes, Ms. Devanshi is saying yes, Hardik is saying yes, and Mohit is also saying yes. What is the reason? Can someone explain me the reason? Right now it is undervalued, so we should invest. Very true, Miss Devanshi. It is undervalued. It deserves the value of 45.83. It deserves the value of 45.83, against which people are valuing it at market just at 35. So it is undervalued at 35. We should invest in the share as per Mr. Walter. Hamari adhuri kahani. Question doesn't end over here. Let's read the part number 2. What is the optimum dividend payout ratio according to Mr. Walter and the market value of company share at that payout ratio? Now, if this situation and information is given to you, what will be the optimum dividend payout ratio based on Walter? Can someone tell me? पहले तो ये बताओ कि डिविडेंड पे करना चाहिए कि नहीं पे करना चाहिए. Should we pay the dividend? Yes or no? बताओ बताओ, चलो भैया बताओ. नहीं पे करना चाहिए. क्यों नहीं पे करना चाहिए? नंदिनी भी नहीं बोल रही है कि नहीं करना चाहिए. भैया लड़की लोग बोल रहे हैं सब कोई. मेरे किधर गए सब मेरे भाई लोग? अपन का रिप्रेजेंटेशन कम होता जा रहा है। देखो ये लोग कितने आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, मेरे को तो अब इनसिक्योरिटी आने लगी है। Nandini, Urja and Devanshi have said no. Others? Acha, what was the acceptance and rejection criteria as per Walter? Or I mean dividend payout ratio criteria? That if R is more than K, the dividend payout ratio should be 0 to maximize your value. So, sir, whether R is less than K or not? No, R is more than K in this case. 15% is obviously more than 12%, right? So R is more than K. That means company is earning more than the expectations of shareholders. And if company is earning more than the expectations of shareholders, then money should be with company, not with the shareholders. So if money should be with the company, that means dividend should be 0. That means no dividend. That means dividend payout ratio should also be 0. So, sir, let me write the formula. We are supposed to find the market price at dividend payout ratio of 0. So, market price as per Walter will be D plus E minus D into R divided by K. Remember that in the back of your mind. The whole is divided by the KE again. Now, when I say D, dividend payout ratio 0, that means D will be 0, right? So I'm writing 0. Now, it won't change my EPS, whether I pay the dividend or I don't pay the dividend. EPS is anyway going to remain same, right? That we have already found in the working note number 1. So that was 5 rupees. From this 5 rupees, I decide that whether I should pay the dividend or not. 5 rupees won't change. So 5 will be taken as it is, minus 0 multiplied by R divided by KE, 0.15 divided by 0.12, the whole to be divided by 0.12. So equals to 5 multiplied by, what do we get for this? 0.15 divided by 0.12. सर देख लो ना आप, ये ऊपर ही तो किया था.
1.25.
Okay, 1.25 divided by 0.12. So 5 multiplied by 1.25, what do we get?
6.25.
6.25 divided by 0.12, what do we get there?
52.083.
52.083. So you may check it, huh? Mr. Walter, if you were paying the 60% of dividend payout ratio, no? At that time, the value was 45.83, right? But if you don't pay any dividend, then as per Mr. Walter, the value is 52.08. That means value is increased, no? So if you follow Mr. Walter, then the value will be maximum as per the model suggested by him. Now, if the same share is available to me at 50 rupees, I will invest. But at 54 rupees, I will not invest. Let's take another question so that Walter's model should be absolutely clear. Question number 2, you may take a snap of this. And you must have observed that this is not my question. क्योंकि मेरे नाम तो कैसे होते हैं मालूम है, बॉलीवुड के मूवी चलते हैं इधर तो. Please take a snap of it. इतने बोरिंग नाम में लिखूं XYZ, MS, ये क्या होता है? The following figures are collected from the annual report of XYZ Limited. Net profits 30 lakhs, outstanding 12% preference 100 lakhs, number of equity shares 3 lakhs, Return on investment is 20%. What should be the approximate dividend payout ratio is to keep the share price 42 by using the Walter model? सर ये तो आपने फिरकी फेंकी, अभी तो वैल्यूएशन करवा रहे थे, अचानक से कुछ अलग कर दिया। तो बेटा मैंने नहीं किया है, ये तो क्वेश्चन की रिक्वायरमेंट है तो करना तो पड़ेगा। अच्छा, वन मोर थिंग, the KE is not given to you. Let's write KE 16%. Let's add it over there in a question. I guess when I was taking a clip of it, no, I would have forgotten the KE there. KE is not given. Please write that and then we'll start solving your question. KE can also be called as the equity capitalization rate. What should be the dividend payout ratio so as to keep the market price 42 by using Mr. Walter? Now, Mr. Walter wants to keep the market price only at 42. I don't know why. If he's getting the more market price, why why he don't want to get it? I don't know. Anyway, चलो जाने दो. अगर 42 price रखनी है, then what should be my dividend payout ratio? Okay, let's write the question first and then formula first and then we'll identify what is required, what is not, So market price as per Walter will be D plus E minus D in bracket into R divided by KE. Remember that in the back of your mind. The whole is divided by KE again. So do we have any information about dividend per share? No, because that's what we are supposed to find. Until and unless you don't have dividend payout ratio, how can you find dividend per share? So what we'll do is we will assume that as X. Dividend per share will be assumed as X. Obviously कोई नहीं हो तभी तो उसे X कहते हैं, चला गया उसे तो X कहते हैं ना, तो X plus EPS can be found, no? Let's have a working note on this. What do you have as a profit? Net profit 30 lakhs. Now friends, from net profit, the first right to get the dividend is of preference shareholders. In this case, we have got a preference shares. And then whatever the money will be there will be belonging to equity shares, right? So on 100 lakhs, you pay 12%. 100 lakhs is the total amount of capital you have. So that will be how much? 12 lakhs rupees. So my preference dividend will be 12 lakhs. So my earning available to equity, earning to equity shall be 30 minus 12, so 18 lakhs. Now you can divide this amount by number of equity shares. How many number of equity shares are given to you? 3 lakhs. So divided by number of shares, that will be 3 lakhs. So sir, our EPS shall be 16 divided by 3, 18 divided by 3, so it will be 6 rupees per share. ये क्या किया सर? EDP? It is EPS. Okay, sorry. So now EPS will be put into this formula. So D we have assumed as X. Market price we want to reach to how much? 42. So market price I'm writing 42 equal to X plus earning per share is 6 minus D will again be X multiplied by R is how much? Return on investment 20. So writing that in a decimal, 0.20 divided by 0.16 as the KE. to be divided by 0.16 again in a denominator. So 42, therefore 42 equals to x plus 6 minus x multiplied by 0.20 divided by 16 as per भागु सब्बा, पहले भागाकार फिर गुणाकार, Bodmas theorem, first division then multiplication. So 0.20 divided by 0.160, what do we get? 0.16,
1.25.
1.25 again. Okay, 0.16. Now you have in denominator 0.16. Now see, mathematically what do? You do multiplication of 0.16 on both the sides. But symbolically, we Gujarati medium students used to say, like, our mathematics teacher was very smart. He said, इधर से साइड बदलते हो ना तो अलग हो जाता है, भागाकार का गुणाकार हो जाता है, गुणाकार का भागाकार हो जाता है, तो हमें वो अब फिट हो गया. So if you have something in denominator, it will come into multiplication here in numerator. So that's basically multiplying both the sides by 0.16. Therefore 42 multiplied by 0.16. Now multiplying both the sides by 0.16 is more complicated than division will become multiplication. That is more easy to remember. So now I can recall that my mathematics professor was awesome. Okay. X plus. Now you can do the multiplication. No, you can open the bracket. So 1.25 multiplied by 6. What do we get? Can someone tell me, please?
7.5.
7.5. If you are bad in mathematics, no, that means you have got a wrong teacher. If some subject doesn't interest you, that simply means you haven't got the good teacher in that subject. Anyway, that's our different matter. Now x minus 1.25. X is already there in a minus, right? So minus 1.25 x. सर इंटरेस्ट नॉन इंटरेस्ट की तो बात जाने दो, हमें तो आलस आती है पढ़ने में, तो बेटा उसके लिए कुछ नहीं कर सकते फिर. Therefore 42 multiplied by 0.16, what do we get there?
6.72.
6.72 equals to, now x minus 1.25x. So I guess it will be 0.25 minus x, right? Plus 7.5. Now see, plus को मैं left hand side पे लेके जाऊं तो it will become minus, right? So it's basically subtracting both the sides by 7.5. Very basic mathematics, elementary maths, we know about it. So therefore 6.72 minus 7.5 equal to minus 0.25x. So minus, what do we get? Someone tell me, please.
0.78.
Good. 0.78 equals to minus 0.25x. Okay. So you multiply both the sides by minus 1. So it will become plus. लेकिन हम में क्या कहते थे गुजराती मीडियम में, दोनों माइनस माइनस को उड़ा दिए. Okay. So 0.78 equals to 0.25x. So therefore 0.78 divided by 0.25 equals to x. What do we get? Can someone tell me, please?
3.12.
3.12.
अरे भैया ये तो बहुत जोर से बोली लड़की. 3.12 equals to x. ऐसे कान में पड़ गए सर, पढ़ गए, ऐसा कोई हिंदी वर्ड होता ही नहीं है. ओके, सॉरी. So x will be 3.12. Don't forget what was that x. X was the dividend in the formula. D was assumed as an x, right? And E you have got is, E means EPS. EPS you have got is how much? I guess 6, right? So if you pay 3.12 from 6, then what is the percentage? So dividend payout ratio equals to dividend per share divided by earning per share. So equals to 3.12 divided by 6. Can someone tell me what do we get there?
0.52.
0.52. So 0.52 can also be written like 52 percentage. So that simply means that from your earning per share of 6, if you distribute 52 percentage of your earnings as dividend, then the market price valuation as per Mr. Walter shall be 42. I hope that's pretty clear to everyone. Confirmation, please. Acha, now one analytical question. Now everyone should be able to answer this. Huh? KE is 16 percentage, return on investment is 20 percentage. Whether the dividend should be paid or not. Can someone tell me? चलो देखते हैं कौन कौन है चैट बॉक्स में. नो, नो, मिस्टर जोसम इज नो. ये नंदिनी सॉरी क्यों कह रही है? क्या हो गया नंदिनी, क्यों सॉरी कह रहे हो? अच्छा, नो. कुछ किए बिना लोग सॉरी कह रहे, पता नहीं क्यों. Yes, obviously the dividend should not be paid because company's return on investment is more than expectations of equity shareholders. So that's it. As far as the Walters model is concerned, we'll explore few more models in the next session. That's it for the day from my side. Thank you so much for attending the session at 2:30. Please inform your friends to attend these sessions on a regular basis because this is not a subject where you can recover back again after not attending 2 to 3 sessions, because everything is so much interlinked. If you can't understand what was happened in the last session, then you will struggle in the current session. So this subject, mathematics, statistics, where a bit of numerical exercises will be there, no? Over there, everything is interlinked with each other. You can't afford to put anything in option. You can't afford to put logarithms in options in mathematics. So many other things in mathematics won't happen if you if you don't know logarithm. Similarly, if you don't know, say, trigonometry, sin theta, cos theta, and so many other things you won't be able to do. If you don't know derivatives, integration, so many other things won't happen in finance either. So that's why you should have the continuous knowledge of everything. Anyway, that's it from my side. Please put your enrollment number as a mark of your attendance. Bye-bye, take care, sayonara, enjoy the rest of the day. See you all in the next session, guys.